Lax Out Cancer is a grassroots operation. It's run completely by volunteers. It's a cancer fundraiser. It's designed to help children, local children who are battling cancer. They're all fighting, and we're behind them. You know, we have their back.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Suarez and I have Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Sean has lymphoblastic lymphoma.
My name is Amy and we're the McClellans, and this is my son Harrison, and Harrison is currently in remission for medulloblastoma.
My name is Renee Cody and this is Zachary, and he was diagnosed with grade 4 medulloblastoma on June 4th, 2014.
Monetarily, it is important. The medical bills are extraordinary, beyond what you could even imagine. The bills stack up. In terms of the event, and honestly what is the most important part about the event is seeing, especially for the kids, their superheroes are the lacrosse boys and the older kids who are saying, hey, like, you can do this, and they're thinking, oh yeah, like, he has faith in me, he's an older kid. And even for myself, it's seeing everybody else believe in you, come together, and it's such a beautiful moment to see so many people together for the same cause, helping out, knowing that if anyone else was in the same situation, we would help them too. That's the motivation that gives us the drive when we walk into the hospital, that, okay, this stinks, but I'm not alone. The whole community is behind me, and I know I'm gonna get through this.
This says Lax Out Cancer. Dear Sean, we have your back. We care about you. You will win. From Natalie. P.S. I love Legos too.
Sean was not doing well for a while. We had been to numerous doctors locally. I can't tell you how many times we were to the doctor with him. And everybody just kept sending us home. And he had this big thing on his forehead, which nobody could seem to miss. And eventually it got to the point where someone said to us that I think he should try somewhere else, pointed us to NYU, and it was the best decision we made. We weren't happy with the diagnosis, but like literally they had him diagnosed almost immediately. It just seems like when you go to the doctor nowadays, they just send you, if they don't know what's wrong with you, they send you to different places. When we were in at NYU, they made it their problem with you. They didn't just send you to someone else. They were going to figure out what was wrong with this kid.
Well,
it was devastating.
It was devastating, and our lives changed forever, I feel.
There's a lot of unknowns. There's,
Because even when in our eyes, when he is cured, of course, 5 years down the road, he has a headache, he has leg pain. What's the first thing you're going to think of? You know what I mean? So that's always going to be, I know, for the rest of my life, in the back of my mind.
But we're also lucky with all of the things that we see at these centers. It's just, there are people that we've got a light at the end of the tunnel. A lot of people don't have a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
We came to hear about Lax Out Cancer from Harrison's physical therapist. Her name is Lori. She's amazing. And Harrison, and you love Miss Lori, right? Harrison, and he calls her my Miss Lori, have a great relationship. And we had moved to Wading River in the middle of Harrison receiving treatment, and Lori wanted to give Harrison some support, hearing that he was a child in the community going through cancer. When you hear cancer, or when you hear there's so much out there about breast cancer, and people are doing so well, and there's so much support for that. When we heard initially brain cancer, we were just like floored, and we heard so many mixed prognosis, and so many things are thrown at you that you as a parent never want to think about. And we just really tried to steer clear and keep on the path and just focus on getting him the best care and taking care of him in the moment. Unfortunately, Keith wasn't working because he needed to care for him, and I work in a school, and we were in the process of moving homes. We sold our house, we were buying a new house, so I had to really stay working. And the bills really piled up. You know, we had insurance through Keith, and I'm a speech therapist in a school, and I never took the insurance because we had Keith's family plan. But what we didn't realize that it didn't cover only a portion of the surgeries, and every time we went to the hospital there were multiple co-pays, and just even, you know, we're lucky enough we live so close to Manhattan, but the cost of parking every day was astronomical.
I was very impressed with the Shoreham-Wading River lacrosse team. They came over to see Harrison, and everyone has been so wonderful to us, so very appreciated.
You know, to see boys like that take time out of their Saturday to come over and to see Harrison and to make him feel special, and they brought him a little gift, and he really felt, you know, at ease with them.
I got my first phone call about the Lax Out Cancer event was from Laura, the guidance counselor at Andrew Mueller Primary School. Explained to me that there is a fundraiser that Shoreham-Wading River hosts every year for the last 7 years that they take local children and families and they raise up money and help. And would we be willing to be a participant? Knowing that Zachary was supposed to start kindergarten that year. And we were just like, we would love to be a part of it, you know. Financially, it's a huge help. It's a huge help. Back and forth, sometimes 3-4 times going into Cohen's Children's Medical Center. It helps with gas, it helps with food. When we're inpatient, you know, it helps with that. Making sure we have meals. And just the fact that the community, they don't know him. They don't know the other 3 recipients. That I think that they to rise up like that, you see it in the movies, but to literally be a part of something like that, it's overwhelming.
And I hope that the kids who are in Shoreham, who are helping putting this together, realizes that you can do this in other communities as we venture off into different colleges, different sport teams across the nation. I just recently saw Hofstra University, where Michael Malave is playing, adopted somebody who's battling on their team. And that it takes one person to inspire a whole community, and that we have such a blessing in this community to see that happen, that we can bring that to places where maybe they don't have that type of support.
Sean is counting down the days left of his chemo, because he cannot wait to get back to just getting out there, going on vacation, doing things, playing with his friends again.
He's sort of in a bubble right now.
Yeah, we live in a bubble right now.
You know, through everything, we've really tried to empower Harrison. We've spoke about it as a family. We didn't want cancer to be something that was scary that children hear, and we always had an open dialogue. We speak to Harrison about all his medical appointments. He knows that he has, you know, a port in his head, and that he, you know, is missing a little piece of a skull in the back, and that he needs to be careful. And we try to empower him, and we want him to be, you know, an example of, you know, a child, you know, did have this, but it didn't, you know, ruin his spirit. The family stayed together, we stayed strong, and that, you know, we're looking forward, and, you know, we're proud that, you know, he is where he is today. There is still a sense of community, because I feel like sometimes we've lost that. Everybody's so on their phones, or nobody talks to their neighbors anymore. And unfortunately, something like this, you know, to have the community help us, I feel like they're carrying us, you know? It's overwhelming in a good way. I don't ever wish anybody to be in this situation, but it's good to know that if you ever are in a situation like this, that there are strangers that are willing to go above and beyond, you know, family, friends, community. And then, you know, you don't have to go through this alone. You don't.